The U.S. women's national team delivered a commanding performance at Allianz Field, dispatching China 3-0 in a Saturday friendly that signaled both dominance and evolution. From the opening whistle, the Americans held control, dictating pace, possession, and position. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. Catarina Macario, returning with flair and focus, opened the scoring with a composed finish that left China's defense looking flat-footed. Her movement was crisp, her awareness sharp. You could see why the coaching staff has kept faith in her potential as a key creative force. Sam Coffey followed with a strike that reflected growing confidence. A curling effort from outside the box found its way past the keeper, not by sheer power, but precision. Coffey's midfield presence continues to mature. She's no longer just a young talent breaking through, she's carving out a role of influence. The first half belonged entirely to the U.S., with China rarely stringing together more than a few passes. It was a game played mostly in one half of the field, and the scoreboard at halftime could have easily read 4-0 or 5-0 if not for a few missed chances. Lindsey Heaps, wearing the armband with the confidence of a veteran, controlled tempo, but it was Lindsey Heaps who found the back of the net early in the second half, heading home a well-placed cross from Michelle Cooper. Cooper, a bundle of energy and intent, was everywhere. Her pace, her directness, her willingness to take on defenders, it gave the U.S. edge and excitement. It was Cooper's second senior assist, but perhaps more importantly, it was evidence of chemistry with Heaps, chemistry with LaBonta, and a growing trust from her teammates. Her connection with Lo'eau LaBonta was particularly poignant. LaBonta, at 31, finally earned her first cap. She became the oldest player to make her senior debut for the U.S. in recent memory, a nod to perseverance, to years of quietly grinding in the NWSL with the Kansas City Current. When she came on, the stadium buzzed with warmth. It wasn't just sentiment, it was respect. Phallon Tullis-Joyce, earning just her second cap, had a quiet night, but that's a goalkeeper's dream. She commanded her area well, distributed calmly, and when called into minimal action, handled it cleanly. That's all you can ask of a keeper in a match this one-sided. And indeed, China brought little resistance. Originally scheduled to play the U.S. twice in this international window, they withdrew from the second matchup, leaving the U.S. to find a new opponent for Tuesday, which will now be Jamaica. If this match was any indication, the U.S. will welcome the challenge. But this match was less about the opponent and more about the evolution of the U.S. squad. With veterans like Alex Morgan and Rose Lavelle not in the lineup, the spotlight shifted, and it illuminated promise. Players like Coffey, Macario, Heaps, and Cooper didn't just fill roles, they owned them. Every touch from the midfield trio had intent. Every overlapping run from the fullbacks, particularly from Jenna Neiswanger, threatened. Every substitution brought energy, not just legs. This wasn't a team merely going through the motions in a friendly. This was a team building something. Macario's post-match comments echoed that sentiment. She spoke of feeling rhythm and trust in the group, highlighting the internal focus the squad has adopted during this transitional period. A new coaching staff is on the horizon, and every match, friendly or not, becomes an audition, a moment to solidify one's place. Michelle Cooper may well be making her case the loudest. Her relentlessness, her vision, and her joy were infectious. She's still raw in certain moments, but that's expected. What's not expected, and what's thrilling, is how quickly she's adapting to this level. LaBonta's late cameo was met with thunderous applause. Her journey, filled with twists and delays, was rewarded under the stadium lights, on her terms. The national team isn't just about youth, it's about stories. And hers, long overdue, was finally acknowledged. As the final whistle blew, the scoreboard read 3-0, but the real message was deeper. The U.S. isn't just maintaining their dominance, they're reimagining it. With a new wave of players stepping up and old faces still providing a steady hand, the foundation is strong. Tuesday brings a new test in Jamaica, a different style, perhaps more physical and compact. But if the U.S. plays with the same clarity, movement, and ambition, it won't matter. This team isn't waiting for the next World Cup cycle to begin its evolution. It's already in motion. And as always, when the U.S. women step onto the pitch, they don't just play. They set the tone.